E.N.D here. It's not a new set without leaks, and for March of the Machine, the Aftermath, we have 22 freshly leaked cards. That's more than 30% of the whole set. Anyway, let's start. And I want to start with Nissa, Resurgent Animist. It seems that Nissa survived the March of the Machine, but lost her Planeswalker Spark for 2 and 1 green landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. If this is the second time that this ability has resolved this turn, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an elf or element card. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Sarkhan, Soul Aflame, and it seems that Sarkhan also lost his Planeswalker Spark. For 1/1 blue and 1 red, it's a 2/4. Dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Sarkhan, Soul Aflame become a copy of it until end of turn, except its name is Sarkhan, Soul Aflame, and it's a legendary in addition to its other types. Sammoud, Vizier of Naktamun, another Planeswalker that lost their Spark. For 1/1 green and 1 red, First Strike, Vigilance and Haste. Whenever a creature control deals combat damage to a player, if that creature entered the battlefield this turn, draw a card. Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep. Sovereign of the Deep, yes, but without her Planeswalker Spark. 3/1 green and 1 blue, it's a 4/5 Vigilance Ward 3. Whenever you cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent spell from your hand, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is that spell's mana value. You may cast a spell with mana value less than X from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in random order. Ayara's Oathsworn, another survivor of the March of the Machine. For 1 and 1 black, it's a 2/2 with Menace. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if it has fewer than 4 +1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then, if it has exactly 4 +1/+1 counters on it, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Nismited Supreme. For 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black, 1 red, and 1 green. It's a 5/5 with Flying. Hexproof from monocolored. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard that's exactly 2 colors has Jumpstart. Training Grounds. The reprint from Rise of the Eldrazi. For 1 blue, it's an enchantment. Activated ability to creatures you control. Costs 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. And with a reprint in a standard set and at a rare rarity, it means only one thing, that the value of this card will plummet. Campus Renovation. For 3/1 red and 1 white, return up to 1 target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until end of your next turn. You may play those cards. And why not target Portal to Phyrexia? Copper Code Vanguard. For 1 and 1 white, it's a 2/2. Each other human you control gets +1/+0 and has Ward 1. Harness Snaphorn. For 3 and 1 white, it's a 2/5 with Vigilance. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, return target artifact or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And that's another way to target Portal to Phyrexia. Bloat Out. 2 and 1 black. Instant. Target opponent exiles a creature or planeswalker they control with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Uraborg Scavenger. For 2 and 1 black, it's a 2/2. Enters the battlefield or attacks, exile target card from a graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It has Flying as long as a card exiled with it has Flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. Plark and Nassari. 3 and 2 red is a 5/4 Orca Fleet. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exile cards from top of their library until they exile a non-land card. An opponent chooses a non-land card exiled this way. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the other cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Vesuvian Drifter. 2 and 1 blue, it's a 2/4 Shapeshifter. Flying. You may look at the top card of your library. At the beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, it becomes a copy of that card until end of turn, except it has Flying. Animist Might. For 2 and 1 green, sorcery. The spell costs 2 less to cast if it's target a legendary creature you control. Target creature control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Nashi Moon Legacy. For 1 black, 1 green, and 1 blue. Menace Ward 1. When it attacks, exile up to 1 target legendary or red card from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy. Pia Nalaar, Concert of Revival. Pia Nalaar is the mother of Chandra Nalaar. For 1 red and 1 white, it's a 2/3. Top tiers you control have Haste. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, create a 1/1 colorless top tier artifact creature token with Flying. Rocco Street Chef. For 1 red, 1 green, and 1 white, it's a 2/4. At the beginning of your end step, each player exile the top card of their library. Until your next end step, each player may play the card they exiled this way. Whenever a player plays a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and create a food token. Leyland Immersion. For 3 and 1 green, enchant legendary creature. Enchant the creature has Ward 2 and tap. Add 5 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast spells. Tranquil Thrillback. For 2 and 1 green. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 green up to 3 times. When you pay this cost 1 or more times, choose up to that many. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Exile target player's graveyard. You gain 4 life. It's a nice way to remove artifact enchantments opponent's graveyard and gain some life. Deification. For 1 and 1 white. As it enters the battlefield, choose a planeswalker type. Planeswalkers you control of the chosen type have hexproof. As long as you control a creature, if damage dealt to a planeswalker you control of the chosen type would result in all loyalty counters on it being removed. Instead, all but one of those counters are removed. And that's a nice way to save your favorite planeswalker. Jirina Dauntless General. Jirina from Ikoria. For 1 white and 1 black, it's a 2/2. Enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Sacrifice it. Humans you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So those were all the cards leaked for March of the Machine, the Aftermath. Subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.